So welcome back to the channel everyone. This is so crazy, you know what time it is, on the desk podcast. Today we're going to look at my DVD collection and yeah, let's see what happens, I don't know. So first of all, I'd like to say my favourite genres are comedy or horror, but more time is horror. But either way, my two favourite films are action films and fantasy films. So let's start off with one of my favourite action films we got. John Wick Part 1. So crazy, set the tone for the whole trilogy. Do you know what? This is one of my favourite action films. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say this is about 8. Only because of the pure action, it's crazy. And yeah, what can I say? Let's put this on the bangers collection, you know. Next up, we have John Wick Part 2. So this film wasn't as good as the first one, but still wasn't bad. So I'm going to give it the same rating, but either way, this film set up the third film, which was one of the most craziest action films I've ever seen in my whole life. So yeah, which brings us on to the next film, John Wick Part 3. This film is so crazy, the whole film 90% action. And yeah, if you haven't seen Part 2, watch that out, that's context. And I think this film is on Netflix, I'm not too sure. Either way, go check it out. Keanu Reeves, he's not good with his words, but you know what? He's decent stunt man. Let's see what we got next. So ever since we're talking about bangers, we got Lord of the Rings Extended Edition. So crazy, we don't watch normal edition around there unless it's on Netflix. But yeah, this film, 10 out of 10. I'm going to do a more full detailed review on it very soon. So be sure to like and subscribe, we'll see what happens. Ultimate banger, crazy. So moving on, we got some fantasy films. So this was meant to be Hobbit Part 1, but I accidentally put J Chow Album Part 2. So yeah, crazy. So this is Hobbit Part 1, I would say this is a solid film. Wasn't as good as Lord of the Rings, nowhere near. But it still wasn't bad, you know. I'm going to say this was 9 out of 10, crazy. Next up, we got Hobbit Desolation of Smaug. This one was very good, not as good as Lord of the Rings, obviously. But you know what it is, something about cliffhangers really makes me go crazy. This trilogy was actually one book, so don't know why they stretched it, but I guess for the pesos, what can I say, not bad. 9 out of 10 as well. Last but not least, we have The Hobbit, Battle of the Five Armies. This one was the best one out of all of them. A lot of crazy scenes, so sad. Ever since talking about that one, we got the extended edition as well. Very nice, very sad. And yeah, 10 out of 10 for that one, crazy. So ever since we're talking about the best films, we have the next trilogy. So now we're looking at Batman Begins, CEX copy, obviously, so crazy. I bought this in 2013 or something, long time ago. And yeah, this was a very good film. It was a good setup to the next two films. And yeah, I like this film very much. I'll probably give this film 8 out of 10. Very nice, Bruce Wayne, crazy. So moving on, we have The Dark Knight. This one is so crazy. So even though the action in this film wasn't all that, the fight scenes was a bit dead, but the whole concept of the superhero and the characters, everything about this film, the narrative, made this film 10 out of 10. Definitely one of the best superhero films out there, purely because of the narrative and the characters. If you haven't seen this, you're just crazy. Moving on to the next one, we have The Dark Knight Rises. This is the perfect ending to the trilogy because the first film shows how Bruce Wayne was starting up. Second film was how Bruce Wayne was getting challenged psychologically, Joker going too crazy. But this film, Tom Hardy come out of nowhere with his voice and he just went crazy. He physically challenged Batman, which hasn't happened before. So what can I say? Perfect ending to the trilogy. 10 out of 10. So moving on, I got a bunch of mafia films. Starting off with Public Enemy. This was a bit random. Yeah, Johnny Depp, what can I say? I'm going to give this one 8 out of 10. Why not? I low-key forgot what happens. But I remember it was a very good film, good enough for me to buy it on DVD. Crazy. Again, we have Dark Knight Rises, but Blu-ray edition. Crazy. Next up, we have classic Scarface, Tony Montana. What can I say? Very nice, very gangster. 10 out of 10. If you haven't seen this, you're too young for this channel. Crazy. So ever since we're on the topic of Batman and gangster films, we got The Joker, Robert De Niro, Joaquin Phoenix, all of them. So crazy. Classic film, 2020. I'm gonna give this one 10 out of 10. Crazy, what can I say? So now we have a film I studied for my university. This film is called New York. New York is basically a musical. Robert De Niro, a musician, woman, I think she's an actor. I forgot what happens in it, but it was crazy. Let me just show you my favorite scene.
Is there a possibility that we could be married now? We're in a bit of a hurry. I can't even explain to you why. I wish.
You're kidding, right?
Kidding what?
That was it?
What was what?
Your proposal? There, get your coat on, put on your shoes.
There's nothing wrong.
Nothing. I just thought it would be different. You know what I mean?
Different? It is different!
I know it's different.
Well, then what's the
It's not the
problem?
kind of different I
Well,
had in
what's the
mind.
problem?
The sweet and calm and...
It is calm!
And
I'm
ardent.
sorry,
That's good.
it's just a little... It's... I love you. Will you marry me? I don't want anybody else to be with you. I don't want anybody else. I want to be with you. Do you understand?
So crazy, what can I say? So yeah, check this film out if you're into musicals, and yeah, let's see what's next. So the next two films, my dad recommended them to me. This one is called Scum. I haven't seen this one yet, but it looks interesting. From London 2000 and something, I don't remember. Can't be, it says here 1979, but I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Either way, it's crazy. So I'll check this out very soon. Next up, we have Clockwork Orange, classic film. I've seen this one. A bit weird, but I enjoyed it very much. Vidi this, vidi that, crazy. Let's move on to the next one. I'll probably give this film 8 out of 10. I'm gonna give all of them 8 out of 10 probably, but I don't know. Let's see what happens. So now we have one of the most craziest gangster films in the whole world. We got The Godfather Extended Edition. What do you know about that? So crazy. I need to watch this. Last time I watched this was in 2017 or 18, long time ago. Either way, crazy. Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, all the crazy actors. Check this film out if you haven't. And yeah, what can I say? 10 out of 10. So now another gangster film we got. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. People that watched this film said it was too long, it was too boring, this and that. But you know what? Those long and boring parts become worth it when you watch the final sequence. If you haven't seen this film, check it out. If you watched it and fell asleep, I got bad news, you didn't watch it. Crazy. Check this film out. Brad Pitt, Leonardo Dicaprio. This is my favourite scene. Watch this. I'll give that film 10 out of 10. So now, moving on, we have Quentin Tarantino, Inglourious Bastards, crazy film, the Nazis. The last film we talked about, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, was about I think it was the Manson murderers, the hippies, remind me of Lana Del Rey, crazy. This one is about the Nazis, and Brad Pitt goes crazy, you know. Check this film out if you haven't. I think it was on Netflix, not too sure. Either way, check it out, crazy. So now let's move on to some kid films. So first off, we have The Avengers, classic kids film. Only reason why I say this is not as good as the other films, because half of this film was on a green screen and I can't rate it too highly, you know. But either way, this was a classic superhero film. 10 out of 10. What can I say? A film I found in Tesco's, 22 Jump Street, random comedy film. What can I say? Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill. 8 out of 10. Why not? My name Jeff. Crazy. Now we have one of the most ultimate films in a long time. Kung Fu Hustle. What can I say? This is another gangster film. So it's about an Asian guy, he's in his country, and then there's this gangster squad about axes, the Black Axe Gang or something. Long story short, they're crazy. If you haven't seen this film, check it out. What can I say? So yeah, moving on. We have Johnny English, another film I found in Tesco's. Random comedy film. 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. Mr. Bean. What can I say? Crazy. What the hell? So now we got some random WWE 2008 Extreme Rules One Night Stand. Don't know how it ended up in the pile, but yeah. Okay, this one's a bit random. We have some Family Guy episode with Stewie, the Christmas episode. I don't know why I have this. Also, we got the season 3 of Family Guy. I don't know why. I think I got this in 2013. I don't remember. It was a while ago. But yeah, HMV. Crazy. What can I say? So this is a bit weird. I got a batch of my sister's films. Romeo and Juliet. I haven't seen this film. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll watch it. Crazy. I don't know. Then we have this film. It's called Romy and Michelle's High School Reunion. Oh look, that's Phoebe. Phoebe from Friends is in this. I haven't seen her in anything in the whole world except for Friends. She's in something else actually. I forgot what it's called. But she normally plays the side characters. Either way, she looks like she's the leading role in this. So I don't know. I haven't seen this film either. It's my sister's, you know. Speaking of my sisters, we have another film. Leonardo Dicaprio's top films. We got Titanic, Romeo and Juliet, and The Man in the Iron Mask. Titanic, 10 out of 10 film. So sad. What can I say? Romeo and Juliet. It's a bit weird. The language was a bit, you know. Shakespeare's so crazy, you know. What can I say? Either way, I haven't seen the last film, Iron Mask, but I don't know. So far, 2 out of 3. Romeo and Juliet will get 6 out of 10. Sorry, mate. Yeah. So moving on, we have bloody Transformers, mate. Classic action film, reminds me of Avengers, green screen and that. But yeah, what can I say? Check it out. This is the third film, I think. The Dark Moon. Yeah. Big up Optimus Prime and that. So moving on, we have some animated films. Monsters vs Aliens, classic, saw it in Woolworths. And yeah, bought that straight away. What can I say? This is when I was a little kid. And yeah, I don't know why it's in the pile. Okay, another film we found in Tesco's, Surf's Up. Classic penguin film. If you don't like penguins, don't know what you're doing there. But yeah, crazy, what can I say? Next up, Book of Life. I've recently watched this film, very nice. Something Muerta, crazy. I think it's Spanish or Mexican, either way. Interesting film, I liked it very much. Mateo. So yeah, moving on to the next film. We got Caroline Jones. This is an animated film, very scary, very nice. Classic Tim Burton, I think. Yep, classic Tim Burton, what can I say? Very creepy, very nice. 9 out of 10. Check it out if you haven't, mate. Now, one of my favourite animated films in the world, next to Happy Feet, we got Corpse Bride. This film is so crazy, so sad, so sweet. It's about arranged marriage. So crazy, go check that out if you haven't. It's on Netflix, I believe. Either way, let me know your opinions down below. Crazy. So moving on to the next section of films, we got Suicide Squad. This film, everyone hated this film, but I liked it very much. You know, it wasn't too bad. Jared Leto wasn't that bad, but he wasn't no Heath Ledger, but it still wasn't too bad, you know, what can I say? So I'm gonna give this film 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, probably because of the soundtrack. The soundtrack was really nice, so that's probably why I like it. But yeah, decent film, not too bad. I don't know what's happening to the second film, but it looks a bit weird. Either way, let's see what happens, I don't know. So now, we have this box set. So crazy, we got Wonderful Woman, Suicide Squad again, Batman vs Superman, and Man of Steel. In the order of my favourite films, either Wonder Woman and Batman vs Superman, then Man of Steel, then Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad is at the bottom, then it's going to be Man of Steel, and then it's a tie between Batman vs... Actually, you know what? Wonder Woman is my favourite one. Crazy. Yeah, Batman vs Superman, I like that film. Not everyone liked it, you know, but the action in this film compared to The Dark Knight, 10 times better, you know. Ben Affleck did his thing, looking a bit more hench than than Christian Bale. He's looking more hench than Christian Bale. The action was more on point, you know. Yeah, let's move on to the next set. Next up, we got Godzilla. I haven't seen this film yet, but it came free with the PlayStation I got, and I still haven't seen it. So I'll watch this one day and I'll give a review. I still need to watch Kong vs Godzilla, but I should watch this first. Either way, it's crazy. I think this is a good film, heard a lot of good things about it. Let's see what happens, I don't know. So moving on to the interesting part. So everything remaining on the desk, all horror films. Crazy, where should we even begin? You know what, we'll start from this side. So we got Dr. Sleep, Stephen King, so crazy. I watched this film once. It wasn't too bad, but it didn't blow my mind. But at the same time, it wasn't too bad. I'm gonna say 8 out of 10, because that's what I say, you know. Crazy. Next up on the list, we have Ouija, Part 1 and Part 2. These films are so dead. I don't know why I bought them. They're probably on sale in HMV. And yeah, I just got them in Blu-ray for some reason. I probably got them just to add to my collection. Either way, yeah, what can I say? 2 out of 10. Let's go to this side. Now we got Hereditary. This film is so crazy. If you haven't seen this film, it's on Netflix in the UK. Check it out. You might enjoy it, because I enjoyed it very much. Someone said to me, this is the next Exorcist. Don't know about that, but either way, classic. It's gonna go into my good collection because it's a new style of horror, you know. Check it out if you haven't. Netflix, 10 out of 10. What can I say? Now we have another Stephen King, Pet Sematary. This film is very nice and sweet. Concept of it was very interesting. But what can I say? I enjoyed it very much. I like cats. This film is about a cat. 10 out of 10. Check it out on Netflix if you haven't. Yeah, crazy. Next up, we have one of my childhood films from my childhood. We have The Ring. The Ring Part 1, Part 2 and Part 3. Part 1, crazy, blew my mind. So scary, the bloody woman, Samara, can't look in the mirror, can't watch television. Part 2, even more crazy. The bloody well, the forest, television, too scary for me now, you know. Then the third film, got a bit weird. The guy from Big Bang Theory was in it, I think. But it wasn't too bad, I can't complain too much, you know. Crazy. The part on the plane was very interesting, and yeah, the whole series I'll give it 10 out of 10 because it's my childhood film. I don't know, very nice. Let's see what happens next. Swiftly moving on, we got The Strangers. The only reason why I like this film is because the girl from Lord of the Rings is in it, Arwen. And yeah, decent film. I will give this one 7 out of 10. It's on Netflix, I believe. Check it out if you haven't. Yeah. So now, let's move on to the classics. So, we're looking at Insidious Part 1. This was the best one out of all of them. So scary, so crazy. 10 out of 10. One of my favourite films in the whole world because everyone gets scared. Anyone that says they're not scared of this film, they're just tricking you, they're just lying to you. Crazy, what can I say? Moving on to part 2. This film continued on the crazy cliffhanger in the first film. Very nice, high rating, 10 out of 10. Yeah, actors was on point, the actors was on point, everyone was on point. Story done its job, the scary bits done its job. Can't complain, what can I say? This time I can complain. Now we have Insidious Part 3. For some reason, the girl from Ant Farm was in this, and the girl from Wizard of Waverly Place. So now I can just think of Disney Channel. So the film wasn't as scary, but at the same time, I still enjoyed it. It wasn't too bad, you know, but it wasn't as good as the first 1 and 2. But either way, can't complain. Good film, 8 out of 10, not bad. Moving on to the last one, Insidious Last Key. This one was very interesting, but the girl from Ed Sheeran music video, perfect. Go check out that Ed Sheeran music video. You see the same girl in this film. Crazy, I don't know why I see these faces from these other stuff, but I can't get it out of my head. It's not Ed Sheeran music video, you know. But either way, let's move on to the next film. So we got The Purge 1, 2 and 3. Annoying because part 4 came out the other day, or last year or something. Either way, crazy. Part 1 was about the poor people. No wait, part 1 was about the rich people, but no one cares about them. Part 2 was about the poor people. Very interesting that one was. But then part 3 was about, I don't remember. Oh, Election Day. That one was interesting. I think it was a mix. It was like a presidential one, I think. Either way, the concept was very interesting, but I feel like it turned into an action film very quickly. But either way, very interesting, very nice. The part 4 has that British actor in it from Man Them on the Wall, I think. Either way, crazy. Big up the ends. What can I say? Move on to the next one. We have a very bad horror film, La Llorona, I think. Either way, I don't know. I don't remember this film. This film was about the. Either way, I don't remember this film. This film was about the mom that drowned the kids in the pond or something. This and that happened. Pretty predictable. A little bit mediocre. Nothing too crazy, but it wasn't too bad. I don't know why I bought a DVD, but yeah, it's crazy. What can I say? Let's move on to the next one. Let's move on to some bangers. So we got the new wave of horror films, Midsommar. This film, very crazy. Bloody Sweden, PewDiePie and that, IKEA, Meatball. Crazy. Have you seen that film? There's a film with a constable and he goes to this island. The Wicker Man. I think it's The Wicker Man. Either way, reminded me of that. Very nice, very interesting. Check it out. It's on Netflix, I believe. Couple scenes where you don't want to miss it. Cliffhanger. Yeah, check it out. Now we have some classics. Us. This is from the same director as Get Out. Very nice film. This film wasn't as good as Get Out, but it wasn't too bad either. Can't complain. Either way, I enjoyed this film very much. Gave me some weird uncanny vibes, you know. I don't know what's the right word, something about Freud. Either way, it's crazy. I enjoyed this film very much. But yeah, move on to the next one. We have It. So not everyone enjoyed this film because I feel like people chat shit. Oh, the clown is not scary, blah. But if someone had a phobia of clowns, this will be their worst nightmare. So obviously you're not going to be scared if you're not scared of clowns. Either way, I enjoyed the film. The character development was very nice. The setting, the way they portrayed the whatever year it was in, based in. The whole concept. CGI wasn't too bad, but it wasn't too crazy. Either way, I think it was a good film. The story made it good. This film, people didn't like this film either. I don't know why. I think the way they cast the characters in the second film was very nice. The actors really look like the young version of themselves. Very interesting, very nice. What can I say? Obviously, it wasn't as scary as Insidious Part 1 or whatever, but it wasn't bad at all. I'm gonna give this one, I didn't even rate the other films. All of them 8 out of 10. Crazy. So now, Get Out. Classic film, classic horror film. This film wasn't no conventional, oh, demon, da-di-da. This is about society and race and history and Americans. Crazy. British actor playing American. Very nice. What can I say? 10 out of 10. What's my man's name again? Jordan Peele, I think. Yeah, Jordan Peele. So crazy. Moving on to the next one. We have Truth or Dare Extended Edition. So this film stars Aria from Pretty Little Liars. Very nice film. Decent film actually. It wasn't too crazy, but it wasn't too bad. I kind of got this just for the random, if anytime someone comes over and they've seen all the main horror films like Insidious, slap on this one. It's not too bad. It's not too good either, but it's a good background film, you know. I don't know, it's not bad, it's not bad. I'll give this film 7 out of 10, mate. What can I say? So before we get into the final films, let's just check out this one. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. This film is on Netflix. I enjoyed the film very much until the hospital scene with that weird CGI, that thing that just ruined the whole film, you know. I forgot what it's called, but it was just ugly and it ruined the film. But the concept was very interesting. I'm looking forward to see part 2. I think they're gonna make it. But yeah, let's see what happens. I don't know. 7 out of 10. So now we got bangers on our hands. Let's start off with this was the first horror film I watched in the cinemas, 2013, Conjuring. Very nice, very scary. But in the cinemas I was laughing, but I was still scared, you know. It's one of them ones when you're scared you just start laughing. Yeah, what can I say? Part 2 was based in Enfield. Very nice film. It wasn't as good as the first one, but it was still very interesting. I'll give these films 10 out of 10, only because they're classics. James Wan, he's the director for most of these good films. Good horror films, should I say. Big up him, you know, he's doing bits. Now we have another James Wan film. Annabelle Part 1, so crazy. Not everyone liked this film. I'll give this film 8 out of 10, only because it sets up the other films. Speaking of the other films, Annabelle Creation, what can I say? This one was better than the first one. And yeah, this was a good horror film. It was a good setup, adds to the universe of The Conjuring. And yeah, 9 out of 10, what can I say? Next up we have Annabelle Comes Home. This one was the best out of all 3 Annabelles. I like the way they added like 7 other stories. It's like a setup for all the other films they're gonna do. Very interesting, kind of like Avengers, you know. Kind of like Avengers. It's got Annabelle, then it's got the coin people. The only thing I didn't like was the wolf. Other than the wolf, everything else was nice and scary. What can I say? And yeah, last but not least, we have the most disturbing horror film I got in my collection. Sinister Part 1 and Part 2. Mainly Part 1. If you don't believe me, check it on Netflix. Sinister, 2007, I don't remember what year it came out. But this film was crazy. If you haven't seen it, watch the first opening scene and tell me what you think. The first 5 seconds of the film will set the tone of the film. Crazy, nice simple storyline. Little family, one house, one location. And then just watch what happens. You get scared, don't blame me. Everything about this film is scary. The visuals, the audio, the pacing. I don't know, it's just crazy. Check it out. And yeah, that's all the DVDs I got. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. I just cleaned my desk. Thank you very much for allowing me to make this content. And let's continue the vlog. So the only thing I did today was edit videos. And yeah, look at the time. So I'm gonna go out to eat today. Let's see what happens. I got another segment for you lot. So let's get straight into that. So right now, just come to the shops. See, I'm gonna show you what food I got. And yeah, let's see what happens. So obviously I just finished filming. Got all the DVDs put to the side. Another on the desk episode sorted. And yeah, let's see what else we do today. Hope you enjoyed that little segment. And yeah, let's see what happens.